If you're afraid that you're utilizing AI incorrectly, this video is for you. It'll teach you how to go beyond commodity simply by avoiding mistakes that make you a commodity. You'll also learn what tasks to automate, creating efficiency around processes that matter least. Now here are people I've helped with this problem: Anthony, Carter, Ralph, and the list goes on. Okay, now these are B2B, productized AI service provider entrepreneurs, and they were working backwards till I helped them. I'm going to give you all of the insights away for free in this video so you can start applying it ASAP. Let's get into it. So here is an extrapolation I had with someone who posted on Threads, and I had something to say. So the publisher said people no longer seek or give feedback. Everyone assumes they are competent. They slap ChatGPT content onto slides and feel brilliant. AI makes the illusion of competence effortless. Anyone can produce polished work without understanding what they're creating. Gone are the days where people experience the humbling process of learning from masters. Speed over depth has become a norm. The irony, I think people are becoming worse at actual thinking, and it's heartbreaking. To that, I said the usage of AI for extracting commoditized information will only gain real traction if it's first to market. Speed to market never builds a long-term business, it's a very short-term approach. To stand out from the market, understand that proper assumptions and predictions cannot be outsourced or automated. Let me explain. If you use AI for simple automation tasks, there's nothing wrong with that. But to use it for making assumptions and predictions will not benefit you. AI doesn't recognize patterns like humans do because it's not a natural adapter like humans are. Intuitive intelligence is not accessible to AI. Let me conclude this. Data extraction, use AI. Commoditized information, use AI. Image generation, use AI. Administrative tasks, use AI. But do not let AI make intelligent decisions for you because logical people will notice. Retention, word of mouth, and the algorithm won't work in your favor if you let AI replace your judgment. Let's expand on this. Here is a negative consequence for not applying what was mentioned in that post. You'll become a commodity if you allow AI to solve problems for you. Non-obvious problems get extrapolated from inside conversations not publicly available. To solve for these problems requires pattern recognition, which AI doesn't have. AI can give you an opinion, but opinions usually come from improper assumptions. To have AI solve for patterns usually only applies for existing commoditized businesses, not solving for a new gap in the market. You can either achieve unique expert positioning in the market or compete with other solutions selling the same thing. On the other hand, if you're first to market using AI to make logical decisions, you'll reap the benefits up front for taking action on the opportunity, but you won't be able to iterate on the opportunity long term, resulting in competitors who are purpose-driven and product-oriented beating you. Okay, now, you might ask, where does AI fail in judgment? AI fails in achieving intuitive intelligence like humans can. Because of that, you can't train AI to gain proficiency to do high-level work. You can train AI to do implementation tasks, feeding it the right protocols and algorithms, but not any task dealing with making proper assumptions and predictions through pattern recognition. What patterns can only humans see? Who humans communicate with, what they repeatedly do, and how obsessed they are is what makes up their identity. Repetition with those three components results in proficient character. Only humans can have a high-level pathos not accessible to AI. Humans can foresee solutions to problems they're dealing with in their current situation, and this is because humans synthesize in categories. Take the internet, for example. There are different mediums to view content. Content in simple terms are data sets either in the form of education or entertainment. The algorithms on the internet, social media platforms, for example, feed information in categories instead of broad, irrelevant information. Now, what separates insight from information? We can all make opinionated assumptions, but without lived experiences and expertise, from repetition doing what forms your identity, these assumptions will most likely fall flat. After bypassing cognitive biases from human nature and shattering limiting beliefs from environmental conditioning, making the right logical assumptions must come from an actual expert. Already available information is simply general information, not specialized information. Having generalized information is important to have access to, but the process of a human's soul-searching journey still remains the same. Now, is speed killing long-term business? Yes. Slow now is fast later. Fast now is slow later. Okay, the number one rule in business is going slow ends up going fast as a consequence. This isn't the case for everyone who isn't communicating with the right people, taking the right actions repeatedly, and being obsessed with the work. Taking this principle into account for those who are trend-oriented because of seeking quick wins, they only succeed in the short term. You get rich, yes, but you don't get wealthy. Not just that, you also have a lower chance of succeeding because you're competing with humans instead of battling nature to solve for human inconveniences. The truth is, humans are naturally seeking instant gratification. Because of that, most humans are choosing quick wins. That means you're competing with the majority of the population instead of solving for gaps in the market. Okay, that's the problem. Now, what is intuitive intelligence? It comes from repeated beingness. From consistently solving for AI operations, I achieved proficiency in AI operations. It wasn't accidental. It was a consequence from my daily habits, my environment, and my obsession. I've managed to see the unseeable because of the identity I've crafted. Intuition is used to display intelligence, not IQ. I've done content creation at scale to millions of people in the entertainment industry. I then did high-ticket sales and sales coaching. Combining my EQ with solving for AI operations allowed me to correlate human biases with operations. The reason my lived experience and expertise serves me so well is because inputs are not always linear, especially high-level inputs. Seeing patterns in human behavior allowed me to assume the right inputs and predict the right outputs. How do you make smart assumptions? When you don't know an answer, you need to be willing to tell yourself you don't know. You can't make the right assumptions for everything, especially technical implementations that aren't high-level tasks. You start making the right assumptions when you stick to one thing, while making sure you're managing your ego, your stress, and your impulsivity, and the frequency of your emotions. For what you don't know, considering you are a high-level expert, you need to get used to delegation to avoid technicalities like the plague. Can you spot fake intelligence? The answer is yes. The best indicator for this is whether the expert can resonate with your current and desired situation. Anyone can list facts and call it truth, but if they don't have proprietary data, yet they're teaching and promoting about the industry, then you're likely dealing with someone who can't back up their information. There can definitely be a lot of fakes, but know this. Usually those who are brave enough to initiate on something usually have some form of leverage to back it up. This doesn't apply for everyone, however. You'll be able to filter out the ones playing win-lose games by extracting evidence. Okay, so how do we sharpen human judgment? Use more judgment to sharpen judgment. Like any muscle, the less you train it, the weaker it gets. This doesn't mean not to be teachable. But don't let ego be the reason you disagree with advice. In this age of AI, detachment from ego is more necessary than ever. Society doesn't understand the intellect required to make use of this new, highest form of leverage above media and code. Bias should come from conviction, but not swayed by self-image. Are we outsourcing thinking to machines? The answer is no. AI should only be used for extracting general information and automating implementation tasks. If you have a specialized AI assistant, it should be specialized in following a framework to reduce cognitive load when decision making, not solving problems for you, but to facilitate the process. If you have a specialized AI agent, it should also be specialized in following a framework, but not necessarily word for word. Instead, it should be able to operate in concepts. AI automations are self-explanatory. You use them to automate everything else. I hope you guys found this video valuable. If you did and you want to see more of me on your home feed, hit that subscribe button. Take care.